Hello, how's it going, saber aficionados? Um, yeah, this is just one of those little comparisons that I've been debating doing, simply because I have these hilts, and I haven't been too active in the video making. One of the hazards of being both an empath and a introvert is that creates sometimes a weird psychological state that happens to me every once in a while that um, is interesting, and I'll just leave it at that. At any rate, so in front of you, I have two hilts by Ultrasabers. Took a little bit of a nap and I got like cotton mouth. I drank some water and I just don't feel like ugh. Blah, 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 blah. The the Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Mm. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Ooh la 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 la. Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. All right, so I think yeah, that's better. Anyway, still yeah. Anyway, like a bit of a speech impediment, or at least I feel like I do. Uh, yeah. So Ultra Sabers, right? So these are two of their LE hilts for their apprentice styled sabers, and this one is the V4, and that one's the V5. And as everyone should know by now, I shouldn't make assumptions like that. Why would you know this? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you. Won't that be nice? When it came to the V4, you had to pay for the windows and you had to pay for the AV switch, and this one's just gonna keep rolling away because it's angry I'm talking about it so poorly. And then at some point, either due to customer requests or just because it became easier for Ultra Sabers to do it, they came out with the V5 and they just automatically added the windows, and the AV switch became uh, standard. At least I think the AV switch became standard. I could be wrong on that. But the windows are definitely standard. Now, as far as the hilts go, there are some similarities. One, first and foremost, the length is more or less identical. I think I've got these things pretty much perfectly lined up, or mostly perfectly lined up, or near perfect. And two, the LE series comes with this gold sort of anodization in the grooves, which is really cool. I always prefer the LEs over, just the basic run the mill non LE variety Ultra Sabers hilts. I think they're more appealing, and I feel like you get your money's worth. Otherwise they look really, really super plain to me. Not that I mean, there's a lot going on as far as design elements to the lower end Ultra Sabers hilts. Um, so that kind of adds to a gussy them up just a little bit. You know what I mean? And so, being that these are apprentice hilts, as I said, they're the same length, and then the same basic, yeah, same basic aesthetic sense to them. The V5 just obviously adds more flourish to the design. So from one end now, the V4 is just a stunt saber, and the V5 that I have has obsidian light. So you can see that the main difference in the pommel is that one's vented and one is not. And on the V5, I've actually added an insert, because I was concerned. The first thing that everyone did when I first got the saber and I'd hand it to them is they started sticking fingers in holes, and that's just rude. People hand you things, don't stick your fingers in holes. And I was always afraid that the speaker was going to get damaged, so I added that, and paranoia was less prevalent. Both of these use the four AAA battery setup chassis thingy that just kind of like floats around in there, so nothing special in that regard. But you can see the main difference in the pommel is The standard one on the V4 is this, the basic knurled design that you see on a lot of their hilts, whereas they have like this interesting groove design, albeit without anodization. Interestingly enough, if you take the pommel off and you look inside here, you can actually kind of see a little on the outside. It is anodized on the inside, so they didn't skimp too much. This section is relatively the same length, and then you have pretty much the same amount of grooves. There's a little bit longer on the handles on this one. They both pretty much use the same momentary switch. This is actually, if you turn on, it's an actual proper momentary switch, whereas this just kind of clicks in and clicks out. So they look similar, but they're not entirely similar. Similarities sort of become less apparent when you get around the switch section. Obviously, the switch section here is longer, switch section here is shorter, and sort of ends. If you consider it, I mean, it's almost like this section and this section are the same length, but on the end they obviously add a flourish where they added a little bit more of the these grooves with the LE anodization and the gold. So I guess these are kind of the same length. And then the biggest difference is your choke point, and this is an interesting point of the saber of these sabers. And one, I think, has an advantage over the other as far as comfort and handling, and the other one obviously has the edge in aesthetics. And that being that without all of this accoutrement here, this choke point here is a lot easier to handle, and obviously it's smooth, has your little micro knurling, and you don't have to worry about shredding yourself. Whereas with this one, and I've kind of gotten used to it, and it's not so sharp anymore that it does damage to me, but it is sharp. And some people, if your hands aren't as calloused, or if you have smooth, milky skin, alabaster complexion, you might have a little bit more of an issue with these, and I would recommend wearing gloves. But from a purely aesthetic standpoint, these windows are really, really awesome, and they repeat. It's a trifecta of windows, and that was one of the main selling points for me on this saber, just the fact that it came with these wonderful windows included in the price standard, which is pretty cool. So you get to the blade holder / emitter, and you get your little rings here. As far as windows go, you can get this saber with or without windows. I think it's like $5 difference or something to that effect. I don't know. I always recommend getting the windows on these things. They look really super plain without them. And it's really nice on the LE. They actually put the gold on the inside of that. So I do really like the windows on the basic V4 model. Yeah, windows. I love windows on my emitters. They really add a lot to the overall design. Obviously, with things like thin neck sabers, you don't always get that, but on these through body designs, you tend to have the option. Anyway, so both of these sabers have what's considered to be a unique sort of premium colors. Ones that you have to actually pay a little bit extra for. The V4 has the looks horrible here. This lighting is here. Maybe this will help. No, it's not going to help. I don't know why I'm bothering, but nope, not even helping at all. So the V4 has the Sunrider's Destiny, and the V5 has Arctic Blue. If I do this, so you get kind of like hopefully a bit of a blade color comparison here. The Arctic Blue obviously is your pale cyan blue, my preferred blade color, and Sunrider's Destiny is this nice sort of minty color, has a tinge of green in it. So it's by virtue of the fact that they have to add a different color LED into the setup. You end up paying a little bit more, so you can see how the windows sort of work on each one. I like how the on a lot of the Ultrasabers hilts, the light sort of splays off the inside of the window, mostly because of the reflective surface of the LE. But I have what is it called? My Manticore. I really like how the windows sort of dissipate the light, and that one has a red blade. This one doesn't do it quite as much, but it's still there. It's still an interesting effect. So that's that. So you have that, and then you have something completely different. You have
It'll do.
You have that, which is choosing not to be. There you go. Thank you. All right. Whoop. This is one of the weird things about this particular font. There it goes. The blue doesn't always retract fully. At any rate, so that was a really down and dirty basic comparison of two hilts that I thought were kind of interesting. And I'm sort of at this point right now where I'm just sort of stuck doing a little bit of comparison videos. I have about 3 or 4 ideas for comparison videos, and this was just one of the ones that I kind of wanted to get out of the way. Because they were staring me at the face right there every day, just looking at me going, why ain't she doing this video? Why are you taking so long? And you don't need sabers yelling at you like that, because it's rude, and it starts to make you go a little bit crazy and think that it makes you think whatever you want to think. At any rate, so yeah, this is a comparison of Ultrasabers Apprentice hilts, the ones that I do have, the V4 and the V5 in the LE configuration. One's, as I said, got obsidian light. One's just a stun saber, but they both kind of handle similarly. I mean, obviously, you're gonna want to wear gloves, because otherwise you're gonna shred yourself. But I've been handling this saber a lot, and I've gotten mad used to this thing. I really love this saber. This was my first sound saber. So, and of course, this one comes with a cover tick wheel. The other one did not. This is one of the few sabers I actually bought directly from Ultrasabers, and it cost a lot. And I've always kind of regretted not getting certain features on this one. I didn't get flash on Clash, but other than that, I don't mind it. And this one I just bought used off of eBay, and it's quite lovely. I'm gonna get another one of these with a coupler or something similar, make a saber staff out of that. So that should be pretty cool. Or maybe I'll get a coupler and just attach these two together. And that is one of the cool things about Ultrasabers, is that you can just kind of mix and match things, create these little as they call Frankensabers. You don't even have to wait for like Ultrasabers to have a giveaway for some of that stuff. You can just kind of go nuts on your own. Plus, you can mix and match the pommels on this particular price point. The only thing that comes off is the pommel. But as I said, you can get a coupler and you can attach them together. I think I might actually just do that. I should probably get myself a coupler tonight. Well, we'll see. All right. Hope you enjoyed this comparison for what it's worth. And I've got a Bellicose coming on Thursday, so I'm pretty excited about that. I've kind of wanted a bellicose for a while, and I'm not exactly sure what that thing has for sound. I know it has sound, but I'm not exactly sure what kind of sound. I'm not the expert on the different levels of sound on Ultra Sabers, mostly because I'm poor, and I can only usually get the lower end stuff even used. But every time I see an emerald or a diamond driver, and then I see the price tag, even if when you're buying them used, I just kind of like, ugh, I want to get one just to try it out, get the RGB effect going, and just can't get myself to do it. But yeah, one of these days, what I really want to get, I want to get a Boars. Yeah, I want to get a Boars Dragon Slayer. There's a lot of things I want to get, just not enough money to do it. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave you guys alone, and hope you everyone has a good rest of the week. Okay, um, and on that bombshell, my love to you all, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. And I'll talk to you later. Okay, take care now. Bye.